Good day, guys. You're welcome back to ID International Academy online class. I want to believe you enjoyed the previous class held, the last class held. Today, we want to open the day with the solution of our previous assignment. Question number 1 in the assignment. If 2x minus 3 in bracket all raised to power 2 equals px squared minus kx plus 9. Find p plus k. The first thing to do is to expand this bracket. So you square the first thing in the bracket, which is 4x squared. Multiply everything you can see there. You can see negative 3. You can see positive 2 as the power there. Multiply them together, you get negative 6. You can see 2x. Multiply negative 6 and 2x together, you get negative 12x. Do you understand? So, square the last thing in the bracket. The last thing in the bracket there is negative 3. When you square negative 3, you get positive 9, which is equal to px squared negative kx plus 9. So, when you get to this level, you answer the question by comparison. You can see this and this. They are, similar to each other. So you equate them, you write px squared is equal to 4x squared. For you to get the value of p, divide both sides by x squared that you don't want. It is p you want. It is p you need. So divide both sides by x squared. So you have px squared divided by x squared equals 4x squared divided by x squared. So eventually you have p equals 4. By comparison again, you need k. K is in the middle term here. So, and it is similar to this by position. Comparison by position. So you say negative kx is the same thing as negative 12x. What do you want? You want the value of k. What is it that is like you don't want here? You don't need negative x that is there with k. So use that thing you don't want to divide both sides. You don't want negative x. So you say divide both sides by negative x. Negative kx divided by negative x equals negative 12x divided by negative x. Negative cancels negative to give you positive. X cancels x. So you have k left here. Negative cancel negative, x cancels x, you have 12. Now, having found the value of p and the value of k, easily you can now have p plus k to be equal to 4 plus 12. And finally, answer is 16. That is how to answer such question. Question number 2 in the assignment. Find x squared plus y squared if x minus 2y in bracket all raised to power 2 equals 3y squared. The same thing, expand the bracket. You have x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared. I hope you understand what I've done there. You square the first thing in this bracket. The first thing in the bracket there is x. Square it. You have x squared. Multiply everything you can see together. You can see minus 2y. You can see the positive 2 as the power there. Minus 2y times 2, that's minus 4y. Times x, minus 4xy. If you write minus 4yx, this is the same thing as minus xy. But if you can arrange them in order, it is not bad. It's not bad. Equal 3y squared. So, x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared minus 3y squared equals 0. So this gives you x squared minus 4xy plus 4y squared minus 3y squared is like you have 4 oranges. You hold someone 3 oranges. By the time, if you are ready to pay your debt, you will be able to pay your 3 oranges you are owing out of your 4 oranges, and you still have 1 orange left, positive, left for you. So 4y squared minus 3y squared gives you positive 1y squared, which you write as y squared. You don't need to write 1 with it, equals 0. Now you need x squared plus y squared to be together. That means you separate negative 4xy. So you now have x squared plus y squared equals 4xy. Because taking negative 4xy to the other side, it becomes positive. And when it gets there, you add it to the 0 you made there. 0 plus 4xy is still 4xy. So that is the answer. Find x squared plus y squared. Now answer. X squared plus y squared is equal to 4xy. That is it. Now, question 3. The question is, if x minus 3 in bracket all squared plus 6x minus 10 is factorized into x squared minus p squared, or processed into x squared minus p squared, find p. So to say, let's say the question is, if x minus 3 in bracket all squared plus 6x minus 10 is simplified into x squared minus p squared. Let's say that is the way the question should be. Find p. How do you find p? Try to expand this to have x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus 6x minus 10, which implies x squared minus p squared as given. Negative 6x and positive 6x negate each other. So we have x squared minus 1. How? Positive 9 minus 10 gives negative 1. So which is equal to x squared minus p squared. Now, they are now in the same format. How is this equal to this? How is this equivalent to this? And you want to find the value of p. Express this one. 1 definitely is a perfect square. Express it in degree 2. So you have x squared minus 1 squared. 1 squared is still the same thing as the 1, equals x squared minus p squared. Definitely, by comparison, if this and this are the same, if this and this are equal, then p equals 1. P is equal to 1. You can see by comparison. X squared, 1 squared, sub p squared. That means p is standing in the position of 1. So p equals 1. Question 4. The question has us to find the coefficient of x in the expansion of x minus 3 into x plus 5. It is simple. Try to expand this. Direct expansion that I taught you, x times x is x squared. Negative 3 plus 5, that gives you plus 2. That is plus 2x. Direct expansion. Negative 3 times 5, that is negative 15. We are good. The question now asks us to find the coefficient of x. Mind you, coefficient of x is different from coefficient of x squared. Coefficient of x here is 2. So coefficient of x is 2. That's it. If coefficient of x squared is required here, it will be 1. one here, the invisible one here. So that is that. Let's go to the final question in the assignment. The last question in the assignment. In the expansion of this, find the coefficient of y, find the coefficient of x, find the coefficient of xy. Let's expand that expression first. 2x minus y into 3x plus y. The expansion is 2x into 3x plus y minus y into 3x plus y. Opening this bracket, we have 6xk. 2x times 3x, that's 6xk. 2x times plus y, that is plus 2xy. We are done with that. Let's open this. Negative y times 3x, that is negative 3xy. Negative y times positive y, negative y square. Y times y is y square. A times a square. M times m square. P times p square. Don't forget. So simplify this. You have 6x square plus 2xy minus 3xy. It's just like here you have two items. This xy, let's say the xy is an entity, item. You have two items personal to yourself. You now hold 3 of such items. 3 of such items. You hold the 3. Meaning that the 2 you have for yourself cannot even pay up your debt if you are willing to pay. Now, let's go ahead to pay your debts. You have 2xy and you hold 3xy. Meaning that you only be able to pay 2 out of 3. You will still have 1xy left unpaid. That is why you will now have minus xy. It is not necessary you write minus 1xy. That is amateur. If you write it like that, we will give you anyway. But don't write it like that. Write it like this. So minus y square. That is the expansion of this expression. Now, from this, Roman figure 1, what is the coefficient of y? Look at this very well. Coefficient of y is different from coefficient of y square. Coefficient of y here refers to anything that is having multiplicative attachment with y. Let's see this middle term. You can see we can rewrite it as minus 1 times x times y. See the way we rewrite it. They are having multiplicative attachment. So what is having multiplicative attachment with y is the coefficient of y. And what are those things that are having multiplicative attachment, multiplicative relationship with y? They are minus 1 times x. They are having that relationship with y. And minus 1 times x is minus x. So coefficient of y is minus x. In this expression, Roman figure 2, coefficient of x is, in this expression, coefficient of x will be what? Look at it again. Whatever thing is having multiplicative relationship or attachment with x is the coefficient of x. So, minus 1 times y, they are having multiplicative relationship with the x. So, that is minus y. The coefficient of y is minus x. While the coefficient of x is minus y. Finally, Roman figure 3, coefficient of xy. Coefficient of xy is minus 1. Look at it again. Xy as an entity. What is having multiplicative attachment with xy? And that is minus 1. That is the end of the solution to the assignment. So now, after the solution of the assignment, what do? Let's go on to the topic of the day. Today, we want to discuss algebraic fraction and substitution. Algebraic fraction and substitution. Example 1. The words there, they are familiar. You are familiar with them. You are familiar with algebraic. Algebra, from the word algebra, algebraic. Something bringing letter and figure together. Fraction, you know fraction right from the primary. And substitution, the act of substituting something into the other. Using something to represent the other. Now, algebraic fraction and substitution. Example 1. Write as a single fraction. You know, on the board, we have two fractions there. X minus 1 over 3 is a fraction. Minus x plus 1 over 4 is another fraction. We have two fractions here. But the question asks us to write them as a single fraction. How do we do that? Find the LCM. The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. So, 3 in 12 gives us 4. You multiply the numerator of this by the 4. You have 4 into x minus 1 minus 4 in 12. That gives us 3. That 3, use it to multiply the numerator up here. So write it outside there. Open the bracket, x plus 1. Now, in opening this bracket, use 4 to open this bracket, while you use minus 3 to open this other bracket. So you have 4x minus 4, minus 3 times x minus 3x, minus 3 times plus 1 minus 3, all over 12. 4x minus 3x, that gives us x. Minus 4 minus 3, that gives us minus 7, all over 12. This is the answer. But this answer could be written as product of two items, like 1 over 2 into x minus 7. This same answer could be written this way, as a product of two numbers. Number 1 over 12 and x minus 7. So that is it. Let's move to example 2. Example 2. Simplify 1 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x squared minus 1. These are two fractions. We want to write them as a single fraction. Though it is not so said or requested in the question, yet that is what we have to do. The question says simplify. Make it simpler. Make it simple. So, the first thing we do is to find the LCM. The LCM of x plus 1 and x squared minus 1 is x squared minus 1. Don't forget, x squared minus 1 is the same thing as x minus 1 into x plus 1. Don't forget. But we see, like, whenever you see x squared minus 1, see it as if you are looking at as x minus 1 into x plus 1. It is very essential. Now, x plus 1 in x squared minus 1. What do we mean? Use x plus 1 to divide x squared minus 1. You know, bring it under it. If you want to use x plus 1 to divide x squared minus 1, and x squared minus 1 is x minus 1 into x plus 1, you see that this, we cancel this. What do we have left? X minus 1. So x plus 1 in x squared minus 1 gives x minus 1. Use that x minus 1 to multiply the numerator here, which is 1. You have 1 into x minus 1. Now plus x squared minus 1 in x squared minus 1. It's like you are using x squared minus 1 to divide x squared minus 1. Answer will be 1. Do you understand? So, x squared minus 1 in x squared minus 1 gives us 1. That 1, use it to multiply the numerator, which is 2, and it gives us 2. Open the brackets. 1 times x, x. 1 times minus 1, minus 1. Then plus 2 over x squared minus 1. So what do we have? X plus 1, because minus 1 plus 2 is positive 1. So we have x plus 1 all over x squared minus 1. Don't forget, x squared minus 1 is the same thing as x minus 1 into x plus 1, that is x plus 1 at the numerator divided by x minus 1 at the denominator into x plus 1 at the denominator. So this numerator and a part of the denominator will cancel out each other. This x plus 1 cuts x plus 1 at the numerator, and at the numerator we have only 1 left. So we have 1 over x minus 1. That is our final answer. We have simplified this. We have reduced it to a single fraction.